Hello and welcome to the evening news. Authorities continue to detect soil movement at the slope in Setiawangsa, where an embankment wall collapsed on Friday. Citing reports from the Public Works Institute, Central Deputy OCBD Superintendent Othman Abu Bakar says the area is still exposed to the danger of potential landslide.
Selain daripada itu, masih daripada pihak Ikram masih terdapat lagi gerakan pada tanah ya, dan mereka sedang memantau. Dan tindakan yang maklumat yang terakhir, rumah yang terlibat iaitu di nombor 39 akan dirobohkan untuk mengelak daripada orang kata bahaya yang timbul sebab daripada pergerakan tanah di cerun di puncak Setiawangsa.
Superintendent Othman said that several areas have been categorized as danger zones, especially Bukit Setiawangsa 9 and 12, with evacuation orders having been given to all nearby residents. Meanwhile, 3 out of 7 bungalow units in Puncak Setiawangsa were also classified as danger zones, with one of them to be demolished by Monday, while 2 others are still being monitored by the authorities.
Meanwhile, experts say a risk assessment study needs to be carried out in Bukit Setiawangsa. The recommendation comes from the coordinator from the UCM Southeast Asia Disaster Prevention Research Institute Association, Professor Tanjung Am Jalmuli.
Dr. Tajul says the institute has carried out an observation on the area and found the earth structure weak due to underground water retention.
Keadaan cerun memang sangat tidak stabil. Kemungkinan ataupun potensi dia untuk runtuh lagi memang ada, terutama pada musim hujan. Okey, dalam keadaan sekarang ni, cerun ini perlu direka bentuk semula. Maknanya cerun ini sangat curam, 70 darjah sudutnya dan tingginya juga terlalu tinggi, lebih kurang 11 kali 6, lebih kurang 65 meter tinggi, sangat tinggi. Kita tak boleh stabilkan cerun ini lagi, melainkan kita potong semula. Kita landaikan sudutnya.
Most of the hill slopes in Bukit Setiawangsa have been covered with concrete walls, and this causes rainwater to be trapped inside. An alternative, which is being used in Switzerland, he says, is a steel net to protect the earth on hill slopes.
The doctor says the institute has carried out an observation on the area and found out that the earth structure is weak to underground water retention. On the heel of the collapse, Deputy Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin says a task force has been formed to monitor the hill slope developments. He has also requested that daily reports at Setiawangsa be sent to him so he can personally monitor the situation.
Hello, and I'm Tina here with international news for you tonight. Alright, talks were held in Brussels today in an effort to subdue Greece's €320 billion debt. No terms were reached, although the Eurozone is pushing for terms to be met. Both parties cited the talk as constructive. In other news, Russian and Ukrainian leaders have had a meeting all night in Belarus to secure a peace deal. Sources claim there were quite some tension in the talks. Russia has been accused of aiding and arming pro-Russian rebels in eastern Ukraine. The talks were focused on establishing a ceasefire and a demilitarized zone. The captain of the Costa Concordia was convicted today. The captain was charged with manslaughter and other charges related to the shipwreck back in January 2012. Schettino admits that the ship had crashed into the rocks in an attempt to impress the passengers, a fatal mistake that caused the death of 32 people.
Welcome to the program that will allow to party hard after winning the European Champions League last weekend. But your punky has turned into the Range 5 unit one last time. As like they tried to secure the first ever treble in German football history. Saturday, German Cup is the only trophy they will need to win after beating rivals Borussia Dortmund for the Bundesliga and the Champions League title. Just to warn you, Paris report contain flash photography.
Another weekend and another trophy is within reach for mighty Bayern Munich. But victory on Saturday would see Jupp Heynckes' side scale a peak they've never reached before. Bayern have won the Bundesliga 22 times, 15 German Cups and 5 Champions League titles, but never all 3 in the same season. After winning the league with a record points total and beating rivals Borussia Dortmund in the European Champions League final a week ago, only Stuttgart stand between Bayern and a new level of German excellence.
Ja, der Pokal hat natürlich jetzt an Wichtigkeit zugenommen, weil
the cup has certainly become more important now, because now it is not only a trophy we can win, but now we can rewrite history. There's never been a treble before in Germany, and that is why this is a big additional motivation.
Despite his side's success, the match will also be the last in charge for Heinkes. He'll be replaced by former Barcelona coach Pep Guardiola when the season ends, and his players will miss him.
Das ist auch schwer für ihn und
he has always done a good job. He's always talked a lot, and he's also changed the team very often. Every player in the team has played in the Bundesliga, Champions League, and also in the Cup, and this is important too. I think when the coach leaves the club, I will be sad. Why? I've worked very well together with him in the last 2 years, the same as with Ottmar Hitzfeld, who I got to know in my first year here, and it's a similar situation now.
Bayern will be without first-choice centre-back Dante and midfielder Luis Gustavo, both of whom have been called up by Brazil for their Confederations Cup squad. But after scoring 8 and conceding just 1 goal in their 2 victories over Stuttgart this season, they're strong favourites. Bayern chief executive Karl-Heinz Rummenigge even said his team could win this match if they were drunk.
Ja, zunächst mal glaube ich,
I think his choice of words was that even with an alcohol level of 180 millilitres, they would still stand a chance. Well, it's their right. They were surely, or are probably still rightfully euphoric after this season, but, well, I have to read it, but haven't really paid attention to it. Should it give us more motivation or not? We don't need any more motivation. We're playing a final in an incredible atmosphere, and many of us, well, who knows how many more times we will have the chance to experience that. So, in that sense, we don't need any extra motivation and no sparring match back and forth through the media. We are motivated, and that's what counts for us, not some comments.
What counts for Bayern is only victory. If they achieve it, Guardiola's arrival could be quite a sobering experience.
Defending champion is Miami Heat can reach the NBA final in Saturday night if they beat Indiana Pacers. But they will be without forward Chris Anderson, who's been suspended for the Game 6 with the Heat.
The best of 7 series by 3 games to 2 after an 11-point victory on Thursday. Miami won't have home court advantage on Saturday, but they do have this man, LeBron James, the King. He was absolutely dominant in the 3rd quarter of the last match, scoring 16 points and giving the Heat a lead they wouldn't lose. And another performance like that would likely be enough to book them a final spot against the San Antonio Spurs.
Finally, Spain, Danny Prutro has taken pole position and Italian MotoGP of Mugello, but he left the line.
The checkered flag was already waving to end the qualifying session. He pipped Jorge Lorenzo for pole with Andrea Dovizioso 3rd. Marc Marquez and Bradley Smith both running qualifying despite huge accidents on Friday.
Good evening, and I will be giving you the weather today. In today's forecast, we're seeing lots of hot and heavy weather in the next few days with little to no rain and a minimal cloud coverage. However, they are seeing some rainfall for us next week. In Sabah and Sarawak, there seems to be lots of isolated rain during the afternoons and evening. Thank you.